What's up, YouTube? Edwin the Comic Jabroni just got home from the local comic shop, and I got the little jabronis with me. So, to find out what we got, you're going to have to stay tuned because we're starting right now. Yo, YouTube, welcome back, man. Like I said, I'm Edwin the Comic Jabroni, and today is the 31st of July, new comic book day. I went by my local comic shop, picked up some fabulous books. I know it was the 5th week of the month, and usually that's a lighter week, but for me, it really wasn't. There was some good stuff out there, and we're gonna get into it. Remember, down in the description below, I'm gonna have timestamps for when I talk about indies, Marvel, and DC. And also in the description below, you're gonna find the link to my Teespring storefront. In that store, I've got shirts with the Comic Jabroni logo, I got socks, I got workout shirts, I've got stickers, anything that you're gonna want to join the hashtag Comic Jabroni Nation. So make sure to check it out, but let's get into the reviews. Alright guys, so we're going to start off with some books that I didn't get a chance to read today. I, myself, have reserve drill this weekend, Thursday, all the way through Sunday. So to be able to get this video out to you, I read as much as I could, especially the bigger books. Some of the books I didn't really get to reading, but I'm going to show you anyways. First up, we get Conan the Barbarian, number 8. Beautiful East Side Ribbage cover. Like I've talked about in previous videos, I'm loving where they're going with this Conan story. Every issue is a different story before Conan becomes king. And also in here you got a red witch and these two little twin kids that are super creepy, and they've got something up their sleeve, but they haven't gotten to that yet. Liking where Conan is going, and these East Side Ribbage covers are just amazing. Loving the blue on there, guys. Let me know, you're reading Conan? Continuing on with Marvel, we got Thanos. Thanos, number 4, guys. Look at that cover right there by Jeff Decall. Decall. I think I can help you with this. Decall. It's Decall. Anyway, so Thanos, number 4. Another one, guys. I apologize, I didn't get to read it, but this story takes place before pretty much everything that we know about Thanos, right? This is very beginning of him and Gamora's story when he captures her as a little girl, and she's able to see death. And he knows that she can, so he takes her in. And you also get the beginning story of the Black Order, but they're calling themselves, I think, the Butcher Squad or something like that. It's a cool story. I'm digging it. Any Thanos run that comes out, I'm picking it up. Let me know. Are you guys getting it? Alright guys, so here is a book that I read from Marvel. Definitely had to read this. This was a big book of the week, especially with House of X coming out last week. This is Powers of X, number 1. And this right here is the Mark Brooks variant. I know a lot of people weren't really able to find this. I myself couldn't find last week's copy for House of X, so I have half of the connecting covers, but really liking this cover. As far as the story goes, it's different than what you read in House of X, right? House of X is more about what's going on with this island of Krakoa and how the mutants are trying to be recognized as a nation. Well, this is about 3 stories in one. You have the past, you got the present, which is what House of X is in, and then you have the future, where they talk about how they were creating mutants on Mars using this Mr. Sinister program. And you actually have the first appearance of a couple of new mutants that came from that Mr. Sinister program where they were creating mutants. One of them where they were like hounds and they had 1 mutant ability. Then they talk about how the next generation had 2. Then they go on to 3. And then the next one, they were a combination of about 5 or 6 different mutant genes. So it really depended on what their mutant ability came about. The story is awesome because it also has those pages like I talked about in House of X where they give you more of a backstory. There's no pictures, it's just a lot of, it's written out, just telling you about the program, that Mr. Sinister program, what happens to the mutants, after they're created on this, on Mars. Definitely a good read. I'm excited to see where Hickman goes from here, right? So you got House of X, you got Powers of X. They're both going to be 6-issue miniseries, but they're all connected, guys. And in the very end of this, it gives you a reading order on how to read each one of them. But pay attention, because on that, there are 3 issues that are colored in red, right? Out of all 12, only 3. So is that telling us something? Is there something going to happen with those 3 issues? Does somebody die? Does somebody come back to life? What's going on? What is Hickman telling us? I can't say this. I dig Powers of X. It's a meaty read, right? There's a lot of meat on the bone. It definitely takes more than one read through to totally understand what's going on with Powers of X. But I'm enjoying what I'm reading. Hickman has something up his sleeve, and he's bringing the X-Men back, because for a while now, the X-Men haven't been what they have always been in the past, right? And that's a great read. Great visuals, great heroes, great villains, great read. I'm digging Powers of X, guys. Were you able to find a copy? We're moving into indies. First indie book. Didn't get a chance to read it yet, but it's gonna be The Goon, issue number 5. This is the A cover, guys. The Goon has been fabulous, right? Issues 1 through 4. Issue number 2 was the one that pulled me in. Issue 1, I picked it up. It's okay. But issue 2 was the one that I said, damn, this is good stuff. Haven't had a chance to read Goon issue 5, but let me tell you, each issue is its own standalone story, kind of dealing with Goon having to deal with a new problem in this town that he just came back from. You know, in that last issue was that mummy. You had the vampire issue. I think it was number 3, where he actually took a piss in the vampire's coffin, and it's just funny stuff. I read it and I laugh, and that's exactly what I love about this Goon comic book, is that it has the ability to make me laugh as I read it, and not every book out there has that ability, guys. The Goon, it's great stuff. All right, guys, next up, this is from Image Comics, The Realm, number 14. So what can I say about The Realm? The Realm has been a great series for me. I absolutely enjoy reading it. It gives me a Lord of the Rings tied up with Walking Dead. So it's a post-apocalyptic Earth, but instead of zombies, it's actually these orcs and goblins and dragons and stuff that you remember seeing in the Lord of the Rings, and they've come back, they've come to Earth, and they've kind of taken over, right? And you have these groups of humans that are trying to just kind of still live their lives, kind of like what you see in The Walking Dead, right? They have built these communities that are surrounded with these walls, but they're getting messed with by these goblins, these orcs, and those type of things. The Realm's been good. There is a band of these humans that are taking somebody to somewhere to figure something out, guys, and it's 14 issues in, and I still don't really know what's going on. Where's this story going? But it keeps pulling me in. It keeps pulling me in. I'm digging it. I like the magic element in here. I love the fight scenes. To me, it's an awesome read, guys. You should definitely go and get the trade on it. This is The Realm. Next up on the list, we've got Spawn 299, which is an homage cover to Amazing Spider-Man 299, right? Drawn by the same guy, Todd McFarlane. This is the first appearance of the Rapture in here. We are creeping our way, right? Road to 300, guys. This is good stuff. A lot of reading, right? A lot of reading, because they're taking you through the history of Spawn. So any of us that really haven't dipped our toe into Spawn, this is perfect jumping on point, guys. Pick up the last 2 issues plus this one, and you're gonna be caught up to speed on what's going on with Spawn, because that 300 is gonna be big. But in my opinion, and this is just the Comic Jabroni's opinion, I think 301 is gonna be the bigger one, because that issue is the one that's going to put them over the threshold of being the longest running independent comic book, right? So I told Perry this, and I really believe it in my heart. You have DC, you got Marvel, but you have Image too. Image has almost crossed that line from being an independent to being one of the mainstream publishers, guys. Because to me, you know, the next issues that I talk about, that's going to be more of your independents, right? These publishers that come out with maybe 2 titles a month. But Image is putting out new number 1s, and they're pushing out a bunch of different comics every week, guys. So to me, they're almost at crossing that line to being on the same level as DC and Marvel. Those guys have been around forever. Image has only been around since the 90s, but they're there, guys. It's a big time publisher. Spawn, I'm loving the cover. Total homage to Amazing Spider-Man 299, guys. What do you think? Is Spawn on y'all's pull list? All right, next up from Scout Comics, we've got Red Winter number 1. So I wasn't going to pick this up, right? I saw the cover, kind of read the synopsis. I was like, what? Yeah, that's not really my thing. I don't know. But Rod the Rican, man, he totally put me onto it. He said, Edwin, go get the book. And I did, and I read it. And you know what? It's really nothing different than what I've read before as far as a Russian gangs. There's an American, this guy right here, Winter. His name is Winter. He's in Russia. You don't really know why he's there in Russia, but he's been there for about 5 years, and he was a police officer or a detective in the United States, in New York City. But now he's in Russia, and he's under the thumb of one of the big bosses, the gang leaders of this, like a mafia type boss in Russia. But you find out through this story that the boss and his crew, some of his crew have been killed in one of their businesses, right? So that boss gets Winter to go and find who it is. The guy knows 99% sure who it was, but he gets this guy Winter to go out and find who it is. This dude Winter is having a bad day from the start, right when he wakes up, and it just gets worse and worse and worse as far as he keeps going. The artwork, I give it a 2 out of 5. It's not the best that I've ever seen, but it's obviously not the worst, but it leaves much to be desired as far as artwork goes. The story, it's like stuff that I've seen in a movie or I've read before, so it's nothing new. I might pick up Red Winter number 2 just to see where they go with this ending, because I don't want to tell you the ending. I don't want to spoil it for you, but I will tell you that, his day gets worse and worse and worse, and then it just like exponentially spikes how bad his day is getting. So, Red Winter, it was all right. I might get issue number 2. Let me know. Did you guys read it? Another one from Scout Comics. Wow, 2 in a week for Scout. This is Category 0, number 3. I've been absolutely enjoying reading Category 0 because it has that feel of mutants, right? The X-Men in the Marvel universe, but this is like Scout Comics' kind of way of doing it. Everybody in the world is like there's 1% of the population on Earth, right? That has a gene. I call it an X gene, right? Like the mutants. But this 1%ers, they have the ability to manifest powers. So this company, Anaxis, has now gotten the government to allow them to test everybody in the US at least, as far as I know from the story. They're able to test everybody in the US to see if they have this 1% gene. And if they do, they test positive for this gene. They place them under arrest, and they're putting them into this maximum facility, right? Maximum security facility. You don't exactly know what's going on, but a lot of these 1%ers, as they're called, they're manifesting these powers, and they don't really know how to use them. It's exactly what you've seen in the X-Men, right? When these mutants first get their powers, they don't really know how to use them, and they destroy something. Well, that's happening in this Category 0. This is really from the very beginning of the whole story as far as who has these powers, who are these 1%ers, what is this Anaxis company, and why are they really trying to destroy these people's lives, guys? I like Category 0. I like this cover too, man, with that security guard from Anaxis. Let me know. Category 0, you guys reading it? So you knew that I had to pick this book up, right? This is the last indie book, and that's going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 96, guys. This is the A cover. But not only did I get the A, I got the B cover as well. And everybody's wondering, who is this on the cover? Well, what's cool about this cover is it has to do with the story inside. And this is not Karai, it's not Jenica. It is just a Foot Clan soldier. One of Karai, it's a bad guy, right? Part of the evil Foot Clan. It's one of her more supreme foot soldiers, all right? And she goes into this building to kill these mafia bosses, and she does exactly that. She goes in there. They're talking about how they don't want to be with Splinter, but they don't really want to get with the ninjas. And as far as the Karai and her Foot Clan, they don't want to be with mutants. What the hell are they gonna do? And this chick and the rest of her Foot Clan soldiers, they go in, whap, whap, throwing sais around, throwing ninja stars, and killing people. So on top of that, guys, I picked up the 1 in 10 incentive variant. Now to me, I'm gonna keep this one up. I'm gonna put the rest of them back here. So to me, guys, This is the cover to have. This cover is absolutely gorgeous. I know there was somebody on Instagram who said, the cover's not really for him, but that's amazing. I love this. You got the 4 turtles, you got Leo, you got Mike, you got Donatello, you got Raphael down at the bottom. This right here, guys, is an important issue. This is the first full appearance of Jennika as a female turtle. Now with this book, we're gonna get that whole debate between cameo and first full appearance, right? Hulk 180, Hulk 181. What's Wolverine's first appearance, right? 180, a cameo. He's in there. But 181, that's gonna be his first full, right? Well, that's the same you got in here, right? At the very end of that last issue, you got Jennika turning into the turtle. That's all we saw, but in this issue, you get more of her. She's talking, they're telling her what happened. She gets to see Casey Jones. Casey Jones see her for the first time, and he's like, I gotta go, girl. See you later. This is an awesome issue, guys. Go pick it up. Go at least get the A or the B cover. I know a lot of comic shops were charging like $35 to $50 on this book. Guys, don't pay that much. It's a 1 in 10 incentive. They're a little bit harder to find. At the most, you should be paying for this cover. It's gonna be $10, okay, guys? So, Ninja Turtles, I've been telling you about it for a while. I hope it wasn't too late for you to join the bandwagon. All right, guys, let's end it with DC, right? DC, that's my thing. I absolutely love DC. I got the Batman shirt. You can see it, Batman shirt on for you. First up, we got Red Hood Outlaw. This is the annual number 3, right? So, like I said earlier, the 5th week of a month, right, when there is 5 weeks, you usually get more annuals. There's not a lot of books that come out, you get a lot of annuals. So DC did that this week. I think they pushed out 3 or 4 different annuals. Well, I picked up Red Hood, annual number 3. This is a story about Bizarro and about Artemis, right? Because at the end of, I don't know, it was about 10 issues ago, before Red Hood got his new costume, Bizarro and Artemis, they got thrown into this door, right, that sent them off into the multiverse somewhere. Red Hood, Jason Todd didn't know what had happened to them. Well, in this issue, we find out that they got sent into this other multiverse where the heroes of that world were killed by Lex Luthor. He blew up a genetic bomb that turned any of the supers, anybody with a meta gene, turned them into normal humans. Superman, Wonder Woman, anybody with that superpower. And then anybody that didn't have a power got turned in or got given powers, right? So normal human beings got given powers. They rose up and killed everybody. There's a really awesome visual in here of the Daily Planet globe, like sitting on Superman's head, and he's just kind of just like that, right? Totally dead. Great story. Bizarro and Artemis are coming back. They finally get back through that door that sends them into the multiverse. They're coming back to Earth. So Red Hood Outlaw, I want to say it's issue number 37, might be a big one. We might be seeing the return of Bizarro and Artemis in the Red Hood world, guys. So definitely check it out. I'm digging it. So like I said, it was an annuals type of week for DC. And although this doesn't have the name annual on it, it is an annual, right? Batman Secret Files number 2. In this, you get 4 stories. No. You get 5. You get 5 stories of different villains in the Batman universe and their dealings with Batman. Each of them is a different story and how Batman was able to foil their plans or whatever it may be, right? So you got Joker, you got Riddler, you got Hugo Strange, you got the Psycho Pirate, and Bane. For some reason, they got Scarface on there, but he doesn't have a story in here. So this is about really the main villains that have taken over City of Bane. And I'm going to tell you the truth right now. Actually, the coolest story to me was the Hugo Strange one. Because Hugo Strange is trying to figure out the identity of Batman. So he has captured 5 people and put them in these contraptions that make it feel like the movie Saw, right? These people are in these contraptions and that little joking thing comes out and gives them, 3 or 4 minutes to try to figure out how to get out of it, but they end up dying anyways. So that's kind of what it was with Hugo Strange. He has these guys set up like Batman, and they either have to say, I am Batman, and convince the polygraph machine they're on, or escape from the contraption that he has them on, and if not, they'll die. Don't want to tell you more, but Hugo Strange probably was the better one out of the 5. I really thought, I was hoping that the Joker one was going to be a good story, and it was okay. But Hugo Strange takes the cake, guys. Batman Secret Files. I got 2 left. Next up on the list, Batman Who Laughs, number 7. Got the B cover, David Finch cover. Really nice, but what can I say? It kind of let me down. I guess I didn't enjoy this series as much as I really wanted to. I wanted to get into Batman Who Laughs. I wanted him to be a badass, right? The coolest villain out there, better than Joker, right? Be able to kick Batman's butt. But it's like it didn't happen. The writing is very difficult to read. And I know Perry was actually talking about it earlier, maybe last week or 2 weeks ago. The writing is hard to read because it's a black background with red lettering, and it's kind of weird how they wrote it. Batman is able to foil Batman Who Laughs' plan, right? Don't want to tell you who it is, tell you how he did it. But we do see Commissioner Gordon get the Batman Who Laughs serum into him, and now going into this new Superman Batman series coming out in August, Batman Who Laughs is going to be a villain in that, and Commissioner Gordon is going to play a role in that series as well, guys. So I would definitely pick that up. But as far as Batman Who Laughs, this is issue number 7. I feel like it should have ended with 6 and they condensed the story down a little bit. I think they tried to expand it out one issue too much, and it kind of got watered down. It wasn't that great. This issue wasn't the best out of the 7, guys. Last up, Batman Last Night on Earth. This is book number 2. It's got a badass Bane and Scarecrow cover, and I talked about it last night on Buyer Pass. I said I'm going to give this one a try. I'm going to see what it does for me. And if not, I just won't pick up book 3. I'm done. If it confuses me even more. But let me tell you something, this one kicks serious butt, guys. In this issue, you finally get a lot of the answers of the questions you had from book number 1. Why is the world the way it is? Why is it post-apocalyptic? Who is this Omega that has taken over and killed all the superheroes off? What is Lex Luthor's dealings with all of this? Why is Wonder Woman the way she is? Where are the other heroes? You get a lot of those answers. Man, this is incredible, guys. Batman is still out there with the Joker, which we still don't know. Is that all in his mind? Or can other people see him? Because he talks with Wonder Woman a lot, but it doesn't seem like Wonder Woman has recognized that Joker is in this little glass lantern. Batman, Last Night on Earth, this was a great issue, and I hope issue number 3 just keeps killing it. It's going to be the end. In this issue, though, we do finally see that Omega. We don't know who it is, but this is going to be that first appearance of Omega, whoever this new villain was that has killed off all the heroes and pretty much made everybody his puppets. All of them, all the villains, everybody that lives in this world, they all bend the knee to this Omega. So, guys, Batman Last Night on Earth, this was good. All right, guys, so that's all I got. New comic book day, pickups and review. I apologize that some I wasn't able to review, but I wanted to record as much of this as I could and get it out to you guys before I had to take off for the weekend for drill. Remember, guys, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, think about hitting that subscribe button. I'm reviewing comic books every week, pickups, reviews. I'm dropping comic book unboxings and doing whiskey reviews on top of that, guys. I'm trying my hands at all sorts of stuff, all right? So, until next time, I'm Edwin the Comic Jabroni. Peace.